It's my jam. Favorite song of the night. Welcome back. By the most unpopular demand that we've ever had, the Dutch and Denver podcast is back. I am Dutch. I am in or around Denver, maybe, or in LA. It doesn't matter. That's our namesake. That's what we're doing. It's been a long time since I've done a podcast. And that's for a ton of reasons. Namely, too lazy. Also, I was tired about yelling about the same shit, politics, which we're gonna get in a little of that. But for the most part, I don't know. I really wasn't into it, and I was busy. That's probably playing games, life, back and forth. I was busy. That's probably why it didn't happen. It's probably the most, and just pain in the ass. Like I've tried, man. Tried to have guests and things like that. And people are like, oh yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to be there. I'd love to blah blah. Okay, when? I'll let you know. Nobody lets me know. Higgins was fun. Hopefully Higgins is on board when I'm back out in LA. But until then, you just got me. Or when I'm next to Higgins. He's busy, man. That guy's hanging out with stars and stuff, and he never invites me, which is hurtful. But and I was like I said, we're doing other things. Like the gaming thing is really, I have focused a lot more on that, and maybe I shouldn't. But that was just where we're at. So if you guys listen to this, go over to YouTube, Dutch in Denver. Just like and subscribe. You don't have to watch the videos. I don't care. Turn it on in the background. Also, I added a Dutch Cooks. That's a new part where I just make ribs. Well, no, I cook. Last time I made ribs though, and I filmed it and everything, and I told you guys how I made ribs. So let me check how many people have been looking at that. I've had some comments from people who have like showed up out of the blue. Not out of the blue, just haven't seen it in a while. Which is nice. It's great. Let's see how the barbecue video is. It's only got 40 views. It's 2 weeks old. You guys should go watch that, like and smash it. Let's see. Last podcast was 2 years ago. No way. Let me see this. No, let me see the actual podcasts. Roseford. Yeah, that's just making me edit it. Playlist. Podcast. Okay, again, I owe videos for that. The last one was, man, 2021. That's crazy. Okay, so apparently it's been like 3 years since we've done this. Man, I feel bad now. Has it been that long? Okay, yeah, I super feel bad. No, it couldn't have been that long. Lies. No, because Higgins has been on the podcast and I haven't known him that long. Lies. It's not been that long. This is the date is screwing with people. This is just not fair. Yeah, we're fix the date. What's your face? I think this is by views, but yeah, no, we're in a 22. Okay. 50 of mini 109. Let's see, of July of 23. Okay, so it's only been 8 months, 9 months. Yeah, 4th of July. Okay, cool. I'm sorry that it's been such a hiatus, but we can catch up. What do you guys want to know? Spent a lot of time in LA, spent a lot of time here. Like I said, working on different things. The Dutch cooks thing I'm excited about. They just take more editing. I'm trying to learn video editing, how to film stuff, things like that. So the first ones are going to be rough. Like the first podcasts are going to be rough, but we'll get it. Yeah, we'll just go from there. So hopefully we'll get these back out on iTunes and all that stuff, and you guys can like, subscribe, tell more of your friends. You can listen to it while you're in the car and all that crazy shit. But let's get into some substance, like the actual podcast stuff. I got a list tonight. Um, let's jump in with sports, man. Do we want to go angry or happy? Let's start with the Broncos, okay? The Donkeys have completely fucked themselves. And they did that the day they signed Russell Wilson to a ton of money when he hadn't played a game in Denver. And I know I said that. That was a bad idea. They did it anyway because they're stupid. And a lot of people are stupid. Okay? So it turns out Russell Wilson hasn't worked out for us. He's not good at football anymore. Frankly, he's terrible at fucking football. So the Broncos took an $85 million cap hit to get rid of his ass. It's $85 million over 2 years, nerd. Shut up. I want you to think about this. There's two ways to think about this. He has since signed with the Steelers, okay? Either for like 1.2 million a year, just so the Broncos have to pay him that 35 on this year. If he had signed for 20 million, then the Broncos would only be on the hook for 15. See how that works? But he signed for 1.2, so the Broncos are on hook for like basically 35. And there's two ways to look at this. The Broncos are paying Russell Wilson $35 million to play for the Steelers. And the other way is the Broncos dumped $35 million because Russell Wilson is so bad. Imagine that. Imagine being so bad at your job that your boss is willing to pay someone else $35 million to get rid of you. That's insane. I mean, he was never good in Denver. All you people that are Russell Wilson apologists or were ever a fan of him, the guy's just schmuck, okay? He only cares about Russell Wilson and his brand. He's not good at football. He has fucked the Denver Broncos over, and they have fucked themselves. Moving on. The Broncos are getting rid of other people. I think Simmons is gone, things like that, trying to get cap space. And now we're calling this a rebuild. My question is, if this is the rebuilding year, what the fuck have we been doing since Super Bowl 50? We have sucked since Super Bowl 50. And I mean, really sucked. Like laughing stock of the NFL. I mean, minus like the Cowboys and stuff, but I mean, the Cowboys, at least they made it to the playoffs. We can't even get that far. Okay. We got blown out. Yeah, I'm 70-20. Like, that's not just a blow off kind of thing. That's the most pathetic display I've ever seen of an NFL franchise in the history of the NFL. I thought you haven't seen them all. Of course, I haven't seen them all. Okay. I wasn't alive when the NFL started, but I can go back to the statistics. I don't think a team has ever lost by 50. The Broncos managed to lose by 50. Let's see. Largest winning margin NFL. Biggest blowouts in NFL history. Let's see. Pre 1935. Okay. The New England Patriots 59-0 against the Titans. Rams 55-0 in 76. 62-3. 54. 58-0. Okay, the Broncos aren't even close on this list. But none of these are none of these are touching 70 points. Oh, see, and this one says, biggest Super Bowl blowouts, the Broncos. So yeah, the Broncos are the most pathetic. I don't know if this has been updated recently, but yeah, they're the most pathetic. And I've said this forever, and this is one of the reasons we quit doing the podcast. Not only laziness, but I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over. Debating about your fandom is stupid, because I'm going to end it right now. Everybody get close, get your friends, get your family, everybody, and listen. This is the hierarchy of fandom. This is undebatable. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many games you blah, 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 all that. Oh, I just thought about something. Stats. We got to get rid of stats. Somebody remind me about this. Yeah. Okay. So again, here we go. I remember that. Okay. So this is the end all to when it comes to being a fan. Number one, you are a fan of the team in the city or state which you were born. You do not have a choice in the matter. Okay? Unless certain conditions are made. This is not debatable, and we're going to call this the laws of fandom. I'm sure there's other things, but I will refer to this in upcoming. But you're a fan of the team which occupies the city you were born in, or state. Like in Colorado, all our sports teams are in Denver. But if you were born in Colorado, you are a Broncos fan, you are a Nuggets fan, you are an Avalanche fan, and you're a Rockies fan with an asterisk. Avalanche asterisk too. And I'll explain that in a minute. You don't have a choice in the matter. Okay? Those are your teams, like it or not. Now, if you were born, we're just gonna go with the Broncos for now, and this applies to everybody else. But we're just so I don't have to name 10 teams and all this. If you were born in Colorado, you were a Broncos fan. Okay, you're a tier 1 Broncos fan. You do not have a choice. You were born into it, so you're tier 1. Now we come to tier 2, and tier 2 is if you were born somewhere that doesn't have a sports team, a professional sports team. Okay. This only applies to professional. College is different. College, where you were born, plus where you, if you went there, where you currently, that college is different. I'm only talking about professional sports right now. But tier two fans are people that chose the Broncos or their sports team. And the reason you can choose a team is if A, you were born in a state without an, you know, a major franchise like New Mexico. Okay, they don't have anything. So you can pick. Couple rules though. You pick, you're stuck. Okay? That's it. You don't the point of this is you don't get to change teams. Unless there's rules and we'll get to that. But you don't get to change teams. So if you're New Mexico, you can pick whoever you want. That's your team. You're stuck. Or in my case, I'm a Cardinals fan. And the reason is because in my formative years, Colorado did not have a baseball team. But my father, being from St. Louis, had a baseball team and he raised me a Cardinals fan. I'm a Cardinals fan. Okay. That's acceptable. If in your formative years you did not have a team, you can jump on. Avs fan, because in my formative years, nobody was a hockey fan. But as soon as the Avs showed up in Colorado, guess what? You're automatically an Avalanche fan. Okay? Now, we can move on to other things. Those are all tier two fans. Choice. Okay? Or no, tier one, still if you're grandfathered in, like your parent, you had no available professional team and your parent grandfathered you in. Tier one. Tier two is you chose. You were born in a state without a professional team. Or in another country, like you were a military kid, all that, you're still, I'm sorry, you may be a huge fan. You may watch all the games. You may go to all the games. You may do everything. But you weren't born into it. You chose your tier two. Okay? That's okay. You're just not a tier one. You will never be, in the sense of the word, a true fan. You're a tier two. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way it works. Yell at your parents for, having a baby in a state with no professional sports teams. Or a country like, and if you're in the military, I appreciate your service, but your kid has no sports loyalty. There's a huge difference between being born into it and choosing it. Okay. And again, there's tons of people that were born into it and are not Bronco fans, that are lesser fans than people that chose them and are bigger fans. But the people who chose them, who are bigger fans, and I'm quoting that, I think are compensating. I don't ever have to prove my fandom. Okay. The people that are like, I've been a fan since 1990. Okay. You're trying to prove something. You're not a real fan. You're a nerd. You're a tier two. I've been to all the games. You're a tier two and a moron. Because if you're paying to go watch the Broncos, you're a fucking idiot. They suck. No one should pay money to go watch them. Holy shit. All right, now we get to tier 3, 4, and 5. And these are the people that pick teams when you grew up in a place or you were born in a place with professional sports teams and you pick somebody else. Your opinion means nothing. You latched onto a boyfriend or girlfriend's team when you grew up somewhere that had professional teams. Tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. Bandwagoners, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. All equally despicable. Player chasers. You're only a fan of the player and whatever team he goes to or she goes to, you're a fan. All of you. I love that you watch sports and I love that you're part of it. You're not a fan though. Okay. I mean, you're a fan, but you're a tier 3. your tier 4, your tier 5, all that garbage. Okay. Now, if your team moves, St. Louis Rams, okay, you have two options: no more football for you, or you follow the team to LA where they're at now. Raiders, no more football for you, or Raiders are a bad example. Raiders, three options: no more football for you. Actually, no, I'm right. No more football for you, or a Las Vegas fan. You can't lash on another team because if you pick like California, there you can pick because you got three of them. But you also, if you were born in San Francisco, you're a Niners fan. That's it. You cannot be born in San Francisco and be like, well, I chose the Raiders when I was a kid. No, you didn't. Or the Chargers. No, you didn't. Okay. The point of all this, though, is that the tier 1 fans are the ones that were born into it. They had no choice. And when you have no choice, I think it means more. And let me clarify. When you're born into it, you don't have the option of somewhere else. So you got to take what they give you. And at a certain point, you get tired of eating shit and you stop paying for season tickets. You stop. That's normal. Okay. If you're a tier 1 fan and your team fucking sucks and is showing no effort to be better, I think you should stop financially supporting them, because that's really the only way that you're going to change. Perfect example. Look at the Rockies. If you're still a true tier 1 Rockies fan with season tickets and spend money, you're an idiot. That team has shown no willingness to win. What about their World Series? The biggest fluke in sports, guys. Come on. This isn't even every once in a while a blind pig finds a truffle or whatever. This was just it's the biggest fluke in sports. Okay? The Rockies World Series. Other than that, they have actively proved that they are willing to be the worst team in baseball because the stadium is still full of morons. And the Rockies will never change until ticket sales go down and they quit making money. Like hell, I don't blame the Momfords. I would absolutely spend no money to make a ton of money. And that's what they do, because we have dumb fans. And tier 1 Rocky fans are dumb because they didn't grow up with a history of baseball. The Rockies are a new thing. Baseball's new to Colorado for the most part. They don't understand the heritage and legacy, so I can't blame them as much. As for the Broncos, though, fuck them. Since Super Bowl 50, they have showed no willingness to win and be competitive. They've shown a willingness to piss money away, but that's not a reason to follow them. They're just bad with money. And people arguing. Okay, so I'm debating whether or not to say names. But for instance, I took a couple screenshots of people arguing about this, and this is where the tier 1 comes in, because the person defending this, saying that I'm going to be a Broncos fan forever, is a tier 2. They weren't born here, but they compensate for it by going to every game, talking about it constant. Basically, their whole life is being a Broncos fan, which, I mean, I think is a little pathetic. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, if your life revolves around being a fan of one team and you're not famous for it and making money off it, that's stupid. But yeah, I mean, if you're a tier two and you're trying to compensate for being a tier two by going to all the games, having all the jerseys, blah, 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 the tattoos, all that, you're an idiot. Okay. But they're arguing about this. And I think the one person saying, hey, man, I'm not going to support losers. I agree with that completely. And then the tier two fan is like, well, you got to support your team no matter what. No, you don't. That's the difference between a tier 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and a tier 1. Tier 1, I don't know how to support them if they suck. I mean, I'll still be a fan. I'm not giving them a dime. I think the Broncos are screwed. You want to know what I really think they're going to do? They're going to draft a quarterback in this draft, and it's going to be a bad choice. I don't want J.J. McCarthy here. He sucks. Well, Michigan won the national championship. No, they didn't. The refs won that for him, okay? That's another thing, man. Harbaugh cheated. He gets kicked out of some games, gets come back, finds he cheated some more or upheld, got kicked out of more games, but gets come back for the playoffs. You don't see anything wrong with that? Fuck him. And McCarthy sucks, okay? I'm an SC fan. I don't want Caleb Williams. I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he's going to be like a Lannert thing. Great in college, bad in the NFL. I don't want any of them. My brother and I are holding out for Manning. Get Archie Manning in 2 years. I mean, we've sucked since 50. What's another 2 years? Don't spend any money, though. Let's get a clean cap. Let's get a full cap. And then let's actually rebuild. Because that's the other thing. People are like, we're rebuilding this year. What the fuck have we been doing since 50? You can't say trying to part things together. We have not had a good defense. I don't care what you say. I don't care about any of that. They got up 70 points in an NFL football game. That's a bad defense. And then that brings me to full circle. Stats. I have a radical idea, man. I think we should get rid of all stats except for wins and losses, which I guess wouldn't count as championships, but wins, losses, and championships. Those are the only stats that matter. And I am so goddamn tired of hearing about players, teams, statistics that don't win championships. If you do not win the championship that year, it is a failure. If you've played on a team your whole life, you're a failure if you have no championships. I'm sorry. I know that it's mean and it's rough, but this is professional sports. The ultimate goal. I don't know. I was going to say the ultimate goal is to win a championship, but I'm not sure that's it. I think the ultimate goal is to get paid. I think some of these people don't care about winning. They really don't. Russell Wilson doesn't give a shit about winning, and I don't care what he says or anything. Look at what he does. The Broncos signed him to $250 million, and that guy did nothing but lose and suck. So, take that. But I think we should get rid of statistics. Couple examples. Georgiev, the Avalanche. We're going to move to the Avalanche. By the way, Avalanche are the best team in hockey. There's no denying that. If you think differently, you're a moron, and you don't actually watch the games. Just like Georgiev. I talk shit about Georgiev all the time because he sucks. Statistically, he does all right. But it's because he is backed by an unbelievable powerhouse. He's a bad goalie with the best hockey team on the face of the planet by leaps and bounds. Okay? The guy is terrible. He never knows where the puck is. He gives up easy goals, blah, blah, blah. 4 goals a game. I saw somebody the other night on Twitter that called him Forgiev. Hilarious. I love it. Whoever you are, bravo. But the guy sucks. And if you look at just his statistics, he looks pretty good. Watch a game. If you give it 4 goals and still win, what does that mean? That means that your forwards, everybody they scored 10 because they're better. They're just far and away better. But you still suck. You gave up 4 goals in a hockey game. That's terrible. If you watch him play, he doesn't know where the puck is half the time. He gets one right in the glove, drops it, rebound, they score. Stop giving up rebounds, nerd. Like he's just a bad goalie, but statistically, he looks good on paper. And most of the people defending him have never watched an Avalanche game. Because if you watch one, he looks lost. He doesn't know where the puck is. He gives up easy goals. He always has a problem with his fucking helmet. Like, it's a mess. He sucks. Baseball. I don't give a fuck about any of the dumb stats that people are coming up with now. Like how hard the ball was hit. If you hit a 9,000 mile an hour home run, it is worth the same amount of runs as if you hit an 80 mile an hour home run. I don't care. If you hit a 9,000 mile an hour line drive for an out, it's still an out. You don't get extra points because you hit it hard. Even pitching to an extent, you can throw 110 miles an hour. But if you don't have a changeup or something off speed or something with movement, a professional baseball player is going to catch up to that and they're going to rock you. Pitching in baseball is all about the ability to change speeds. And unfortunately, that's not a stat. It should be, but it's not. They don't care about that. Like, how fast can you run in the outfield? That doesn't matter. If you catch the ball, it's an out. It's still an out. You don't get anything for running fast. Maybe an extra stolen base. But again, fastest runner is not a stat where it shouldn't be. Because if you're the fastest runner and you have 2 stolen bases, it doesn't matter. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we're too focused on stats. People were saying Russell Wilson had great stats, but he sucks. We don't win games. And the only stat that matters at the end of the day is wins and losses. The fuck is wrong with you people? It's dumb people who are ruining sports. It's your tier 2s, your tier 3s, your tier 4s. All I care about is if you win the championship. Anything short of that is a failure. You're a professional. You're not a kid in T-ball. If you play T-ball, yeah, little Bobby, a couple of hits, an out or 2, I'm proud of you. Professional athlete, if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're a fucking failure. And people are like, oh, don't you? You're a failure. You don't make millions and millions of dollars a year. You're right, I don't. But if you took my job, let's say contractor, and I didn't finish the house, you'd be pissed. If I didn't finish my jobs, you'd be pissed. My job is to finish the house. Your job's to win a Super Bowl. Anybody who doesn't do that is a failure. Let's do it this way. How about bids? Let's do that. When you bid a project, your job is to get the job. If you bid the project and don't get the job, you failed. That's it. It's super easy. The rest of the world does that. Well, it's sports. Yeah. And you're a failure if you lose. Second place, first loser. You'd never say that to an Olympic. Yeah, I would. Gold or nothing, man. Super Bowl or nothing. Super winner or nothing. Stanley Cup or nothing. NBA championship or nothing. Speaking of NBA championship, man. Nuggets. They look good. I mean, they always look good, but they look good. I think they repeat. I'm so tired of, again, the casuals who are, and I'll admit, I'm a casual NBA fan, but I understand basketball. And I can look at the statistics. I hate them, but I can look at them. When the other team has 40 free throw attempts and the Nuggets have 6, there's a problem there, man. I know the Nuggets are a flyover town. They always have been. But fuck, it's annoying. But yeah, Avs look really, really good. And the Nuggets look really, really good. Like, I mean, the Nuggets are playing San Antonio tonight. So, I mean, that's all but a guaranteed win. But I don't know. Let's see where they're at right now. They're up by 13 with 42 seconds in the fourth. So the Nuggets got this in the bag. March Madness is coming up. I'm ready. Are you? What happened to my paper? Yeah, I'm ready. You are you? So we'll do March Madness next week or next podcast. But let's switch gears. More in depth of what I'm doing. Okay. We're doing the gaming stuff. Okay. Guys, please, if you listen to the podcast, just run over to the YouTube page. It's Dutch and Dimmer. Just subscribe and like. Again, you don't have to watch videos. Just help me keep going a little bit. Because the gaming helps the podcast helps the gaming, all that stuff. The cooking thing. I enjoy that, and I'm gonna do a lot more of that. It's just like I said, it's a little more difficult to film by yourself because the gypsy works all day. So I gotta film it by myself. And then I don't know how to edit it well. She does that, but she does it when she gets back. But I've got tons of things like real pizza, homemade pasta. I got tons. Beer can chicken. We're gonna deep fry some turkeys. Higgins is gonna show up for some of this. I think this could be fun. I really do. All right, let's talk about random shit. The new season of True Detective. Can we talk about this for a little bit? Night Country or Night Woman, or I don't know what it's called. First of all, the first season of True Detective with McConaughey and Harrelson is probably the greatest show ever on TV. Easy. Second season, awful. Turn it off. It was unwatchable garbage. Third season, I'm not sure I finished. Wasn't great, but wasn't nearly as bad as the second. Fourth season, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they jammed a lot of fluff. This is spoiler alert, so if you haven't watched it and you want to, don't listen for a little bit. But it's in Alaska, and where the sun doesn't rise, so it's dark all the time. And you make it the whole thing seems supernatural, which I didn't want. I didn't want it to, take that Indiana Jones turn and be like space aliens. And it seemed like it was going that way. And then it just turns out that it's a bunch of crazy chicks. like forced a bunch of people out there to go freeze their nuts off. Um, it's really slow. It's bad. A lot of like people said it was just a bunch of people drinking coffee. It really is. A lot of talking, a lot of doing nothing. Like it's like fucking Oppenheimer, man. I don't know if you guys watched that movie yet. Another spoiler alert. Um, it's literally a whole bunch of people just talking about nothing. It's bad. It sucks. I won't say it's bad. Okay. Oppenheimer is just really boring and very long, and nothing happens of substance. It is, yeah, it's just, it's not a good movie. And True Detective Night Ranger, or whatever the fuck it's called, is not good either. It is 6 episodes of just the first two kind of bring you in a little bit, but then you start thinking like I did. It's like, oh man, is this gonna be some kind of like alien voodoo witch supernatural shit I don't want any part of? And then it gets you way down there, and then you get so bored on episode like 3, 4, 5. You're like, ugh, I don't even care anymore. Just wrap it up. And then 6 wraps it up, and you're like, well, that is dumb. That was a complete waste of my time. Let's see. What else have we been watching entertainment wise? Oh, Masters of the Air. Ugh, I'm bored with that too. It was good for a little bit. And then just again, these are all spoiler alerts. So if you haven't watched this stuff, don't. But it's about World War II and the B 52, 51, somebody flying fortresses. Okay. I thought it was about that. First couple episodes, they're all right. You know, these guys are flying off, young kids and stuff, and they get creamed, and only a few of them come back. And then episode 2 is the same thing. Episode 3 is the same thing. 4 is the same thing. 5 is the same thing. 6 is the same thing. Then 7, and these numbers aren't right. This could all happen sooner, but it seems like it's a lot of the same. And then all of a sudden, we go off on these tangents of following these pilots who have been shot down, and like a couple of them escape through, like France or whatever with the help of locals, and then a couple of them are stuck at like a POW camp, and now we're on the Great Escape. Like it is verbatim the Great Escape. There's 3 tunnels. I mean, it is just bad. And then I quit watching. So, I don't know. I was bored. It was like, well, I've seen this movie before. The Great Escape was awesome. This is not. Um, yeah. So there's that. What else are we doing? Oh, only murders on the boat, or boat murders, or it's the one on Hulu that ah I can't think of the name of it. Hold on. Let me find it. I think it's only murders on the boat. Um it's something like that, but it's well, let's see if it shows it. That's not Hulu. It's gonna ask me to sign in. I can't remember. Okay, but it's bad too. Um, I got super bored and just tuned out. I mean, episode 2 or 3, I didn't even know what was going on anymore, and I watched a bunch of them, and it's just like it's not there. There's nothing good on TV anymore. That's the story. Watch sports. Players Championships this weekend. Go watch that. Don't fuck around with any of the other stuff. Yeah. What? I can't remember. And I mean, it's bad. Holy shit. What is it called? I don't know. I'll tell you guys next time. Okay. Moving on. What does that say? Oh God. All right. I gotta talk about this just a little bit because it's super been bothering me. I don't really use Twitter anymore, other than like just to get information, like traffic information, news, kind of. It's more of like immediate weather traffic. But Twitter has a new feature that's like the For You page. And I always forget to flip over to the following. So sometimes I like am glazing through the For You. And it's just like, what the fuck is this? And particularly, and I know this has been a thing for a while, but it's just, I don't know, it's starting to rub me the wrong way. Or it always has. Now I'm getting fed up with it. It's just people that you know are just tweeting for attention. And it's not even like celebrities, because they do it too, or like social media personalities, they do it. I'm talking about just like regular people who just tweet crap that is a obviously made up, B, and just obviously for attention. I mean, is your life so devoid of anything interesting that you just have to? And I'm tiptoeing around this because I'm not entirely sure that this person doesn't listen to this. And if I say something, they will specifically know, and I don't want to get involved in that. But I also like, okay, I'm just gonna tweeting about what it's like to be a dog parent is fucking stupid. Okay. Especially if it's a dog that everyone has and doesn't have any issues with. Okay. Like, that'd be like me, tweet. We all know I have Black Lab. Okay. That'd be like me tweeting, like, huh, you just don't know what it's like to have a Black Lab because they chew on everything. Yes, you do. Everybody with a Black Lab knows they're chewers. Okay. They're retrievers. They fetch. They do shit like that. They're pretty good at swimming. But making it seem difficult to raise that dog in the way that it is just annoying to me. I'm sorry. And I know this is probably sounding petty but it's getting to the point that it's like, fuck, just shut up. And I know Dutch get off Twitter. Yep. But I got to. The sports thing. I know where they're from. Certain allegiances are from where they were born, and now they have other allegiances from where they currently live, and it's all engulfing, and it's just like, shut up. You're just doing this for attention and that's the other thing. It's attention that you only want on the internet. It's like, it's not quite even the OnlyFans girls, because like the OnlyFans girls, I get. They act like whores on the internet because they want you to go to their OnlyFans page so they can make money. But if you act like a whore on the internet only to get engagements for no money and then bitch about it, and then talk about how you're a Christian woman is just ridiculous. It's unbelievably ridiculous. And like I said, I could just click off it. I can remember to just only hit the following. But it's just there. And I want so badly to just be like, shut the fuck up. Also, your life is not that interesting. And I know that you think it is, and people have given you that impression because the pictures you post are so heavily filtered. That's the other thing. Why? You know you don't look like that. Why are you using 14 filters and all this stuff? Is your self-confidence that fucked up? That low? Because again, I know what you look like without. And what you isn't it. Not even close. And I understand angles and everything to look skinnier and stuff. And then you just soft blob. I get all that. But what's the point? I just like the gypsy. She looks different with a bunch of makeup on. But she doesn't look so different that it's like you're a completely different person. So why would you? I mean, and I know you're doing it just for engagement on the internet and stuff like that. But it's it's irritating because I know you're not that. You're fake. You're lying. You're just, and you're not doing it for like OnlyFans click. You're just doing it for I don't know why. Because your self esteem's in the shitter, and people on Twitter give you self esteem. I don't care about your diets. I don't care about any of that. Quit posting pictures of your fucked up food. And I can say that because if you go watch that ribs video, those are delicious fucking ribs. They look gorgeous. They tasted fantastic. That's completely different. You posting your fucked up steak and be like, this is what I'm having for dinner tonight. Fuck you. And then you complain about how your life is bad. Well, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you weren't like an unpaid internet whore. Boom. Nailed it. That's what you are. You're an unpaid internet whore. Which is the worst kind of whore. The whole point of being a whore is to get paid. If you're an unpaid internet whore, that's just stupid. And again, I know you're 40 and lonely and blah, blah, blah. But I know it's important to put on a different persona, but fuck. Fake people are irritating. Unless you're intentionally faking, then it's funny. But this is just. I don't want to hear about, the only games you ever watch are because of this. Fuck off. All right, whatever. That took a dark turn. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Nothing. Anything on the list? Politics, I don't really want to get into. It's a fucking mess. I do want to do this for just quick. And this is going to get dark, super dark, real quick. I've long said I'm done with Democrats, but I'm actually done this time. Anyone who's like, oh, I'm a Democrat. Wait a minute. Somebody copyrighted this? Oh, Kate Smith and Friends, you can go fuck yourself. Stars and Stripes is public domain. All right, I'm sorry, I just noticed that. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay. I'm done with Democrats. I was done. I've always been done, but I'm truly 100% fucking done. If you vote for them, if you believe in any of it, you're a moron, and I can't do it anymore. And I'm going to start telling you that. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to be like, well, we can agree to disagree. I'm going to just be like, you're a goddamn moron and you're wasting oxygen existing. And I'll tell you why. It's a simple thing. So I need to get new windows, or I'm getting new windows, or I have new windows. And I'm only getting the case, the window sash, okay? I have naturally wood cased windows and trim. So you have your window, and then the sides of the window frame are natural wood, and then you have your trim. Okay, in the back here, right here, okay? These are only in the basement, and these are painted white. Upstairs, they're not painted. They're natural wood. See? Yeah, right there. Okay. This is natural stained wood. Nice, beautiful stained wood. And the inside here is stained wood. Okay? The sill, the edges, all that. And then the actual window itself is stained wood. Stained wood, like your hardwood floors. Okay? So, I got these new windows, and I got them unfinished for two reasons. A, I wasn't entirely sure that the window company was going to match the existing, because we have to match the existing casing and trim, or it's going to look funny. So I wasn't sure they could do it. Also, they wanted a lot of money to do it. I mean, like $5,000, a lot of money. Hey, Pika, welcome to the podcast. Maybe games later. Stay tuned. Okay. So I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to do that. So it's like, I'll stain it myself. The windows arrive unfinished, and I start looking for stain. Now, I have a little bit of stain left. I mean, a little bit from when the house was built. Not enough to do all the windows, but enough to match color, things like that. So I call up the stain company, Ace, whoever. They're like, hey, man, I need this stain, another gallon of it. And I get told, can't do it. Why not? Well, because the state of Colorado has outlawed oil-based stain. What? Yeah. Can't get it anymore. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but stain is like, it literally is, you stain the wood a color, you wipe it off, and then you put polyurethane over it. It looks gorgeous. That's what natural wood is. It's stained with polyurethane, okay? But use oil-based, because oil-based is so, I mean, it's permanent. It's incredibly high quality. All these paintings from 1,000 years ago were done with oil-based paint. That's why they still work and they still exist. If it had been water-based, it would have been destroyed 10 years after it was done. Water-based paint sucks. In your house, you use it though, because you repaint your house so often. You don't want to use oil-based. And it really stinks. Okay. But like hardwood floors, oil-based stain, oil-based polyurethane. Can't get that anymore, Colorado. I'm so goddamn tired of these crazy fucking liberals fucking my life up when their own house is in complete, utter goddamn shambles. We have homeless people taking a shit on the sidewalk in Denver, Colorado. Every corner of every street. There are homeless encampments of hundreds of people destroying the city. Civic Center Park had to be dug up like 3 or 4 feet, dug up and thrown away before they brought good dirt in and replaced the grass, because the homeless people had brought so many rats and shit that they burrowed in and fucked everything up. Okay. That's the problems I'm dealing with. And the liberal Democratic legislature thought it was a great idea to get rid of oil-based paint instead of dealing with the glaring fucking problems that we have. We have illegals coming over and massacring, mutilating, murdering, massacring American citizens, and nobody gives a shit. But I can't use oil-based stain anymore. The insanity of this group is beyond me, and I can't do it anymore. and I won't do it anymore. I am going to vehemently and adamantly speak out against it. And anyone who says that they are that way, I will denounce you and I will belittle and berate you to the point of tears or anger, whatever comes first. I'm not putting up with it anymore. But I'm okay. I just had to get that out. It's been. We did acquire oil-based stain, though. It was just discreetly done from maybe other states that haven't lost their fucking minds. But 6-hour drive to a different state to get paint is insane. Either way, it's good to be back. We didn't yell the whole time. We talked sports. We did yell, though. What's good? I'll be back in LA next week. That's good. Back in the sunshine. Because right now we have feet of snow on the ground. Feet. And it is not fun. I spent all day today clearing snow. I did my driveway, and I have like a John Deere snow blower, which is it's a riding snow blower. It hooks up to the tractor, so you don't have to like walk behind and push it. It's like a big, like 48-inch, but you drive the snow blower. So I did my driveway, and then I tried to get out for some errands, but the snow is so deep that I have a very good 4-wheel drive, and barely, we're still not plowed, so probably not getting out tomorrow either. But I try to get out, and I noticed like one of my neighbors who I like, who I've known since, I've known him since probably middle school, high school. I don't know. He's, trying to do his driveway with like a push snowblower that's like 20 inches. It's just not working. So I said to him, like, hey man, I'll bring the John Deere over. I'll do a couple passes. We'll get your truck out. We'll get your wife. You guys can, when the roads are clear, you'll be able to get out of your house. And they got kids and stuff. So it takes me like 30 minutes to get to his house. And we're not talking like far. Okay. This is maybe down the street, like less than 100 yards to his house. But then he has like 100-yard driveway and a side. But it took like 30 minutes because the snow is so deep, it's so wet, it's so heavy that even this is struggling. And one of the chains fell off the tractor plow. So I finally get there. And I start going, and he's got a detached garage off the side. And he opens the garage and, gets his Tundra all started up and tries to plow through and immediately like slides off into the mud in the ditch. So now he's high centered and stuck. And it's like, all right, man, well, I wouldn't have done that, but I'll tell you what, we'll clear some dry pavement and then I'll go get my truck and we'll see if I can pull you out. So, I'm clearing snow for another like 45 minutes or an hour. I have to walk back to get my truck, bring that down. We all get hooked up and we pull them out. And then I finish doing his driveway for him. And I did that a couple times today. So I'm wiped. Because even sitting there doing all that, it's a lot of work. It's cold. It was like 20 degrees, wind's blowing, snow's blowing. But that's what you do. And we're still, the plows haven't come on the main roads yet. So like my driveway it's down to the asphalt and the concrete. There's no snow. It's perfect. But once you get out of my driveway and onto the road, there's 3 feet of snow. There's tracks I made, but even then, and you got to go like a mile or two before you get to a plowed road. It's just not worth it. That's the other thing. You guys are outlawing my oil-based paints and can't even plow my street. Ugh. Whatever. It was, it was a day. It just, I know the snow comes up, but we haven't had this much snow in a while. Feet of wet, heavy snow. So, yeah, that's what we did. Uh, I'm getting out of here soon, and then we'll be back, and that's when I think the Dutch Cooks picks up because Gypsy, my editor, will be there to make my videos not suck, which we appreciate. Um, Higgins is going to be there for some kind of, I don't know, red cauliflower. I don't think that's it. No, purple sweet potato um, nachos. It's got meat on it though too. Don't worry. The chips are just purple sweet potatoes, but there's meat on it. It's not some vegan weirdo. And we'll do a lot more of that. We'll do some gaming. We'll do some more podcasts. Dude, plans are coming. Everything, I've been bogged down with these windows and blah blah all that shit. So I don't know, man. I think it's time we get out of here. What do you think? Call it a night. Call it a podcast. We'll try and do these like once a week. Higgins wants to do it again, but again, I love that guy. But he's the one that's like, yeah, I'm free this night, this night, and this night. It's like, okay, well, let's do it. And then he'll be like, it turns out one of my hippie friends called and we're going to go smoke crack made with mushrooms under a bridge and then go to some Burning Man quasi festival and drink 6 bottles of rum while his wife yells at him. That's awesome, dude. But no podcast? Whatever. I can do with that. Higgins, I love you, buddy. Yeah, that's it for me. It's fun to be back. Games. Let's see. I don't know. If somebody wants to play games, let me know. Tomorrow, probably not. Race car stuff, though, cool. Ass play late tomorrow, so maybe during the day a little bit if we're still snowed in. Sunday, nothing. That'll be Sunday golf. And then Monday, we're back at it, man. So, we'll see you then. Sounds like fun. And then we got that week, and then we're back in sunny Los Angeles. Cool, man. Hey, I appreciate everyone who watched tonight. I appreciate everyone who listens in the future. It's available everywhere. And if you listen to the podcast on other platforms, run over to the YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And then you never have to worry about it again. It would help me so I can help you guys with this glorious entertainment. I'm out of here. Till next time. Bye.